don't know if you saw, I spoke to Snoop Dogg last week and we talked to him about Crawford and Canelo, and he said, you know, I got Bud's won.
Yeah, I've seen that. Everybody that believes in hardcore boxing fans, they know Crawford can beat Canelo, just like they knew Bud was going to beat Spence. This is real simple.
That was at 154 pounds. When you look at that fight, what is in your mind if you think about the concept of him fighting Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds? Two more weight classes up.
Get the legs in some shape, man, because I've moved.
Music. I don't know if you saw, I spoke to last week and we talked to him about and Canelo, and he said, you know, I've seen that everybody that believes alongside Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. Terence Crawford's trainer has just confirmed the fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford and there was no difference in all that's been said from the different sources. So far everybody that believes in hardcore boxing fans, they know Carr can beat Canelo, just like that they knew Bud was going to beat Spence. This is real simple. Brian McIntyre, Crawford's trainer, claimed the fight is scheduled to hold around Canelo Alvarez's two favorite fighting seasons of the year, the Cinco de Mayo weekend or the Mexican Independence Day. That was at 154 pounds. When you look at that fight, what is in your mind? If you think about the concept of him fighting Canelo Alvarez at 168, get the legs and some shvi. According to Crawford's trainer, plans are already ongoing to ensure the fight is held around the Chino Deo celebration period. Turkey Alak Shik and the parties involved have begun making efforts to ensure the fight comes to fruition and both fighters get their huge purses and make the biggest fight boxing fans want to see. Brian McIntyre has guided Terence Crawford to world titles in 4 weight divisions, and he'll be hoping he can lead him in a fight with Canelo Alvarez. Get them laser some shap, make sure. Laser in shape side, is that a fight you would recommend for him? Yeah, __. It Crawford defeated Israel Madrio to become ruler at 154 pounds and he's now targeting a fight against the Mexican icon. Crawford has achieved many big things in boxing, but victory over Canelo would be his biggest accomplishment. The super middleweight world champion has only tasted defeat twice, against Dimitri Bivol and Floyd Mayweather, and it's the Bivol battle that McIntyre will be studying. If a fight between Crawford and Canelo takes place, he made him move his feet. If the fight ever materializes, that's the fight that I would go back and watch, said McIntyre regarding Canelo versus Bivol when speaking on the Luke Thomas YouTube channel. It's real simple, you just got to know boxing in order for you to be able to say that you're going to get in there and do what he need to do, perform. I'd look at Mayweather versus Canelo too. WBN believes that Crawford's name is on a short list for the Mexican superstar. After months of media coverage of the clash, World Boxing News also understands that Turkey Alak could sponsor the event as a Riyadh Season USA show to be staged in Las Vegas. If confirmed, the super fight would be Alois Shik's first involvement in a headliner staged in what bona fide fans consider the world's boxing capital. Alak prioritized Canelo versus Crawford in 201-24 after linking with Bud for his August battle with Israel Madrio. However, after his frustration leveled out, the Saudi chairman backtracked. Heard Turkey Alak say that he sent you an offer, possibly face Crawford for coming up here. Is that true, or what happened with that? No, I don't have any offer, he said. I just wrapped up an important meeting with my team planning for the upcoming fights we will make for 2024 to 2025. I decided to disregard the Canelo fight as I don't want it anymore, said Alak. Instead, I will focus on the US market with bigger fights, especially for the legend Crawford. That mood has since changed as Canelo versus Crawford again gathers pace. Crawford told former opponent Sean Porter he wasn't impressed with his prospective opponent's attitude toward the fight. I heard Canelo say, "I'm easy work. If it were easy work, you take all that money that Alak is offering you," Crawford told the Porter Way podcast. And hard for boxing fans, they know Carr can beat Canelo, just like they knew was going to beat real simp got, but still he wants $200 million for Bennett's and $150 million for me, so that just lets me know right there I'm a threat. I'm a threat to him and his legacy, he added. Sparring partner Kenneth Sims Jr. spoke exclusively to WBN about the possibility of Crawford facing Canelo. Sims believes the ex-welterweight king can get the W. I'd like to see the Canelo fight, said Sims. I've seen him in the ring with much bigger guys, so I think he can pull it off. Any offer, and look, I'm 100% focused on this fight. And then we see currently Crawford is the #1 choice on a list of few with Christian and Billy and Gerald Charlo. Unlikely to get the call at this stage. A rematch with Dimitri Bivol could also be a consideration if the light heavyweight can avenge his loss to Artur BBV and win all the belts at 175. However, Canelo usually has his Cinco de Mayo plans in hand by then if his 2022 conqueror is victorious in the Better BF rematch on February 22. The super middleweight champion may revisit a Bivol revenge mission in September. Mexican boxer Canelo Alvarez has in a way confirmed his willingness to face Terence Crawford, creating buzz around what could be one of the most anticipated fights in boxing today, possibly to face Crawford for coming up here. Is that true, or what happened with that? No, I don't have any offer, and look, this potential showdown would feature two elite fighters at the pinnacle of their careers. The clash between Canelo and Crawford promises to be monumental. Canelo, the undisputed super middleweight champion, has dominated his division with power and precision. Crawford, widely regarded as one of the most skilled fighters of this era, brings a combination of technical brilliance and intelligent strategy that has propelled him to the top of the pound-for-pound rankings. In an interview with Sway Universe, Canelo Alvarez expressed his openness to the fight. I'm in, why not? Don't get me wrong, he's a great fighter, but for me in my weight class it's an easy fight, easy money. If the money is right, I'm in, because I don't like to fight guys like Crawford. He moves a lot and the fight is not that great. I saw in his last fight and he doesn't move that much now, so if the money is right, I'm in. Right now there are weight classes for a reason. Canelo added, stand focus on this fight and then why he the fight's going on as well with UFC September 14th. How do you feel about that? Like that happened the last time we faced. This statement marks a notable shift for Canelo, who had previously expressed reluctance to face Crawford, citing the lack of credit he would receive for defeating a smaller opponent. Meanwhile, Crawford has shown persistence in pursuing the matchup, willing to move up 2 weight classes to prove his dominance. Crawford is fully aware of the physical disadvantage he would face against Canelo, acknowledging that size will play a crucial role in the fight. However, he remains confident in his ability to overcome this challenge and impose his boxing style. Some analysts have expressed skepticism about Crawford's ability to compete effectively at super middleweight. This stems in part from his most recent fight, a points victory over Israel Madrimov at super welterweight, which lacked the dominant display many expected. Lu and Har are for boxing fans. They know Carr can beat Canelo just like they knew was going to beat real simple. You just gotta know box you. Regardless of these concerns, the potential bout between Canelo and Crawford has captivated the imagination of boxing fans. The blend of power, speed, technique and charisma from both fighters sets the stage for what could be an unforgettable spectacle. Canelo Alvarez has established a tradition of having 2 fights a year, May and September, the latter on the weekend that celebrates Mexico's independence. Since 2022 he has scheduled his fights in these 2 months, and it is expected that he will do so again, so it is more intriguing who will be his next opponent due to the lack of interest in accepting the challenge of David Benovitz, the mandatory World Boxing Council 168 pounds challenger. Terence Crawford looks like a strong option for Saul Alvarez, and his first fight of the year over with. Now, are we still waiting for that second fight to happen? I don't know, man. I don't know. They still got to work things out and see where they go from there. I know there as an opponent, although it seems that the fight is more media than competitive, as Crawford fights at 154 pounds, the super welterweight, 2 categories below that of the Guadalajara native. However, both Crawford and Sheikh Turki Alil Sheikh are trying to convince Alvarez to accept the fight, for which he was asking for $150 million, given how unconvincing the fight against Terence Crawford could be in sporting terms and the evasiveness against Benovitz. Today at 175 pounds, Saul Alvarez could have other interesting options to open 2025 in the ring. Another name that has been mentioned for Canelo is Christian Andely, a 29-year-old Frenchman with an undefeated 28-0 record, who in his last fight defeated Sergey Derevyanchenko in August and would be a contender for the World Boxing Council. In Zo think that they can get a shot at BU after, with the about not even being on the line. Is that a fight? That a possibility that in September was already ruled out was William Skull 23-0, the International Boxing Federation challenger, an organization that removed the undisputed tag from the Mexican for refusing to fight the Cuban and stripped him of his world title. Boxing News is keen to propose a couple of natural super Middleweight fighters Diego Pacho is one of them, who has a record of 22-0 and 18 knockouts. The 23-year-old would be a challenger for the WBC and WBO, although on January 25 he has his next fight against Steven Nelson 20Z in Las Vegas. The other option listed by the media is the Cuban Oesigas, who at 27 years of age has a record of 13-0. With 12 knockouts and is making his career with the international boxing organization Canelo, making his own.